What happened here today, sir?
So about, I think the call came in about 2:30, 2:36. We received a call of smoke and possibility of fire at this location, which is, again, 6955 Delridge Way Southwest. First in units reported heavy smoke on what they call the seaside. They entered from the front off Delridge, and this back side of the building where there's extensive damage is called the seaside. They reported heavy smoke and flames from the seaside of the building. They made a rapid attack on the inside, realized that this fire had gotten a little bit ahead of the first responding units, immediately called for a 211 response, and then it was based on the fact that we needed rehab people and other firefighters that went to a 311. Now, when I break that down, that will give you approximately 15 engine companies and 7 truck companies on scene with roughly 122 firefighters at the scene at this time.
Sir, I heard some neighbors complaining that you've got these 2 multiple ladder trucks with the snorkel units up there and that stuff, and they weren't being used. I mean, I'm sure you know what you're doing, but was there a reason why those units were not used?
Right, and that's a good question. What was happening once we had an interior attack going, we had firefighters inside with hose lines. It was tenable, they could get in and put out a lot of fire, and so by putting exterior lines on there, we're just pushing that fire back into our people. So it has to be a coordinated effort from the incident commanders that when we put large appliance hoses or streams from the ladder pipes, we make sure our people are not inside on the interior.
Are all residents accounted for, sir?
What floor did the fire start
Just
on?
1 second.
What floor did the fire start?
Okay, we aren't sure right now. We have fire investigation on the scene. We're not sure what floor it started at this time.
How many units total?
There are a total of, I said 15 engine companies and 7 truck companies.
Units in the apartment.
Plus, I'm sorry.
Units in the apartment complex.
Oh, I'm sorry. Roughly, I was told 22 to 25 units in the apartment complex.
Early on, there was supposedly a person who may have been injured or worse inside. Is that true?
Our initial actions to look for people and our searches were clear. So we did not find anybody in the initial unit, but we still have to do secondary searches even now as we start to wrap this up.
No injuries?
Are any residents
So far, there's been no injuries to firefighters or residents.
Were there any hydrant issues? We know the last big fire in West Seattle, there were hydrant issues.
Right, no hydrant issues reported. All units were able to get the water they needed and in a rapid time.
How many apartment
I
units?
do want to say that quick evacuations by our fellow Seattle Police Department, whose members ran into the building and started getting residents out. Heroic efforts on their part. There were heavy smoke conditions, and there were 7 to 8 police officers who immediately responded and started getting people out of the building.
Was there, if you covered this, but any initial swipe at cause? Was it a stove or anything obvious like that?
Nothing obvious right now. We're looking at our fire investigation team is on scene.
How many apartment units sustained damage?
It looks like we have damage to all the units. Okay. We had the fire that did got up in the cockloft and breached the roof, and then extensive water that was put on. So we're going to have smoke, fire, water damage to all units.
So any word on where these residents are going to go?
Not at this time. Red Cross has been called. We have City Light on scene to deal with electricity. We Metros are bringing buses here for firefighters and for residents for rehab. And then we're also, once Red Cross is on scene, that we'll figure out what numbers we're working with. Part of the units, the people that are running, the managers of the units are on scene, and they're trying to do a quick assessment to get numbers for us and where they're gonna have to. They've all been displaced out of this unit, so this building.
Fair enough.